Morning everyone. We've just been at the beach and now we're heading off to Alix and Pete's, who are a couple of our viewers who built their own van. We're pretty excited. I got a preview yesterday and I'm impressed.
Yeah, coincidentally they booked the same nights as we did.
Yeah, purely by coincidence.
Yeah, so excited to see their home build van.
It's impressive.
So here we are with Pete and Alix and their van. It's a Promaster 2500. They're going to do a tour of it for us and we'll just ask you a couple questions about it. Yeah, so when did you start your project?
Well, we ordered it in March of 2021. We had to wait 18 months to get the van. We got a new one because used ones cost more. So that didn't make any sense. And then it took about 600 hours to build it out. So that would be about 4 months of working full-time.
And now the interesting thing is, Pete, you're not an engineer.
No, I have an agricultural background and that's it.
And how did you learn to build everything?
YouTube.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes,
YouTube University.
YouTube. We did borrow a couple tools from our friend Cindy and Rich, and
that was really nice.
But
lend us those, and
tried to learn from whatever. We'd watched YouTube videos for several years and tried to learn from them and their mistakes and the things they said they'd do differently, and we did our best to make it a lightweight build.
Yeah, that was a really important point I think you made yesterday. As you kept
so our
the weight
build
of the
weighs
van.
about 1,500 pounds.
Okay.
Not including all the food and stuff you put in afterwards.
And yourselves.
and ourselves, exactly.
And your bikes.
Yeah, and the bikes.
Okay.
All right, so Pete, where do you want to start?
Well, we can start on the exterior if you want.
Okay.
It's all stock, all direct from the factory, except for the roof. That's where the modifications are. So we have two roof fans, two Max Air fans mounted. We have vinyl roof racks that mount on the factory mounting points, and we have two 100-watt solar panels mounted on the roof.
You didn't want to make too much in the way of holes in your van. That was one of your main criteria.
Yeah.
But to do the roof vents, you actually you made the holes yourself.
Yeah. The roof fans use the 14-inch standard RV fan hole. That's where we borrowed the jigsaw from our friends, and just using a fine metal blade, fine tooth, and it cuts through that metal up there. It's really thin. The main thing is to mark it out, and I marked it out on masking tape, and then I came back the next day and I checked the measurements again. Because if
twice, cut once.
Yeah, if you cut it twice and this hole is still too big, you know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was easy to cut, and the instructions were good on how to mount them, and yeah, it wasn't difficult. That was one of the easiest things, actually.
Wow.
A lot of the other things in the van required inventing on how to do it, because there's no store where you can go down to the van camperizing store and buy all the stuff.
If only there were one.
Yeah, a lot of things bought off of Amazon for sure, because it was hard to find locally a lot of the things we wanted to put in.
Some of the stuff you just can't get anywhere else but Amazon.
Yeah.
Anything else on the outside?
The leveling block things you made yourself. I don't know if you want to show
That's
those.
just rubber floor mat we cut up, and the only other modification is the shore power. And we just ran that through the plastic. There's a cavity in behind, and you just feed it up and into the van, so there's no cutting in the metal. A few screws, and there's a gasket. Noco makes a nice unit. That's what a lot of people use. A lady did that to her van, and she said, "Oh, but if you do it, don't get the 2-foot one, get the 6-foot one, because the 2-foot one barely gets inside the van." So I bought the 6-foot one, and I used all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was helpful.
And do you want to just show us your garage, which is amazing?
So we've got
Look at this.
There's the propane storage in here.
Okay.
And there's the propane alarm down at the bottom, right by the flashlight.
Put it in themselves, and I was curious what in their van they use propane for, which is actually the cook stove. So they put the propane in here, and then they vented it out through one of the existing holes that's in a Promaster van to start with. I would have never thought to build a cabinet and then vent it so that if there ever was a leak, you have no issue. I mean, that's just brilliant.
That's YouTube.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
It's not an original
Yeah.
idea. I think
great.
it comes from the boating industry, because they have a lot of
Right.
regulations, and so they do that. And then I saw couple of videos. So the guy, he talked about the boating thing and thought, well, if it's safety, I can do it in my van too. The bike storage.
Oh, this is neat. Now, where'd you get the sliding bike rack?
Amazon.
Oh, is it just specifically for bikes or just
No,
any kind
they're
of
just
storage?
you just buy heavy duty drawer slides. These are 400 pound rated.
I think the bikes are about 100 pounds.
The
Okay,
bikes weigh
yeah.
about 50 pounds each,
Yeah.
so
Nice.
it can easily handle that part of it. And then you just get the mounts. Once again, the YouTube video pointed out that this brand worked well, and it was half the price of a different brand. And
What was the brand? Or-
Delta.
Delta. Did you do all the planning ahead of time? Is it to exactly where you wanted
Yeah, in
everything
fact,
to go?
I made
and-
2 items before we even had the van, which was a bit risky, I guess. I made the kitchen cabinet by going into vans at RV places and measuring.
Oh, perfect.
In fact, in one place we said, "Can I help you?" And they said to me, and I said, "Well, I'm just measuring because I'm making my own." He said, "Oh, that's great."
Oh, okay.
They didn't
Yeah.
mind.
They were helpful.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
made the kitchen cabinet months before we got the van. Fortunately, it fit. And then I did some of the electrical in advance and mounted it to a board, and fortunately it fit too.
So you were committed.
We were committed.
So we're gonna check out the inside now.
But first we're going to look at the plumbing.
We're gonna look at the plumbing from the outside, but it's actually kind of inside.
The SureFlow pump, it's one that does not need an accumulator tank. And it's got a little filter built with it. So this is the fresh water, all strapped in. This is our gray, 23 liters technically, but yeah, I guess it'd be about 5. And this is a valve more compact than your household P-trap. It's a little awkward with one in behind the other, but it does give us room for a little drawer on the other side.
And I made this vinyl
Yeah,
cover.
Alex made the
Yeah, with snaps in the top and stuff, just so it's easy to remove. Again, we didn't want wood or anything in here that you could, take out because again, weight. We want to keep the weight down.
Yeah.
This is our bug net that we got from a company in Colorado, right, Pete?
Yep.
This one. Yeah, so it's just magnetic. I put the just a little leather strap on there just so it was easier to grab. Pull that open.
And it's got pretty good coverage too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just
It just drapes down. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wouldn't keep our cat in.
No.
No.
You would escape.
and it rolls up, of course, too. This whole
Looks very
thing rolls
sturdy.
up and snaps in, so you have it just as a roll on the top, just
Perfect.
like most vans. All right, come on in.
This is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did order the van with swivel seats, factory swivels. So it came with these seats here. We wanted that because camping with friends, so we have seating for 4 people in case we want to come in the evening, play games, or have some drinks and snacks. We put in a bench here too. That seats 2 people. This is just high density foam that we got from a foam shop, and then I covered it with this is Duramax fabric. This gray here, and we did some of the trim in the van too with the same fabric. It's a very hard wearing RV fabric. You see it in a lot of vans, a lot of overland vans use Duramax fabric. Yeah,
Perfect.
it's not sewn or anything. People think it's sewn, but it's really easy. That's a very
with
thin
the
bit of
staple gun.
plywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we glued it and stapled it, so that makes it quite easy to do.
Great. And it looks
Yeah,
so good.
anyone can do it.
Oh,
It's
and very
easy.
clever. You've got your Velcro
Yeah.
stickies on there.
Velcro
so
on the
it
bottom,
stays
and then
put.
so it stays put. Otherwise, if you're driving, they would fall right off of the bench here.
yes,
So that's
yeah.
kind of
Very
that
clever.
works out nice that way. And Pete, of course, wrote down where the front is on the edge because it does make a little difference. A bit of a difference there, and
Perfect.
cushions there. Yeah, and then on this side here, yes, we do have a toilet. It's right in here.
Ah,
So
I was
this
wondering
opens-
about that.
Yeah, but again, the pillow comes off and the lid comes up, and there's a cassette toilet in there. That's that for
Perfect.
cassette. So it basically comes apart and you can empty the bottom. Unhit hooks there because that's the strap that holds it when you're traveling. So you unhook that strap, you pull it out, and there's a lever. You maneuver and you open it up, take the top tank out, and take the bottom. has a handle, and you can carry it to the
Great.
restrooms. Yeah.
And have you used it yet?
Oh yes, yeah, we use it in the evenings. Yes,
perfect.
in the night. Yeah,
So
we
it
definitely use that.
Works well for you guys.
Yes, and you obviously only do liquid number 1 in the toilet. You do not do number 2 if you can help it. You go to the washroom for that. So yeah,
Perfect.
So that just closes up again, and that closes. A lot of people don't know that it's in there. Pete put, I think you call those hydraulic struts in there.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes it easier to open and close.
That's a great
And then
spot
we just
for
put the
it.
lid
Yeah.
or this back on top again. And there we go. Yeah, and the trim, it's Pete, you were going to talk about the wall paneling.
Okay.
We wanted to make a lightweight build and also try and save time because it looked like a lot of work framing and doing all the paneling. So we bought a product from a company called Legend, and we bought their Duratherm panel kit. Wasn't cheap, but it's a very hard polypropylene honeycomb material, about 1/4 of an inch. Then there's a small layer of foam and a reflective foil layer on the back side. So you get an R4 out of that. Little issue that we didn't think of, in that because you're not framing it in, when you go to attach shelves and things, you don't have any framing to attach them to.
Yes, that's true.
So it was one of the things we did overlook, but we did add a bit of framing last minute so we could attach these shelves on the walls high up. And the product is quiet, it doesn't rattle or anything.
That's the key.
It's easy to
In a
clean.
van, yeah.
As far as we know, it doesn't absorb any cooking smells or
Perfect.
yeah.
You
So
can just
we're
wipe it off.
we're
too.
happy with
Yeah,
that.
it looks great. though.
Yeah.
It looks
In
great.
fact, they did an AX test on their website claiming how durable it is. I haven't done it myself, of course.
I wouldn't take the chance.
No.
Just in case, maybe you'll be a little bit too strong.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got a Lagun table mount here that
Yes.
we put in that we really like. It's great. That's a boating industry product again. Definitely a must. It's so nice. It works very well.
And this is actually, you designed it so well because if you're sitting over here on your couch area, you could swivel it over.
Yep. Yep. You can I can
Right.
demonstrate if you want. It swings over to here. You can use it for countertop, extra when you're
Oh
cooking.
yes, of course. Perfect.
Yep, as well.
Yeah.
So more space that way if you need more space. And yeah, so the nice part is it swivels in so many different configurations. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a great
I like it.
location for the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we really like that.
Now, who's the design expert between the two of you?
We both kind of picked the fabric. We picked this fabric. We like these kind of fabrics, and yeah, we picked these again about 2 years before the van arrived, so it was all pre-planning ahead. And yeah, we just thought we'd go with more natural kind of colors, didn't we? That's kind of what we like. And
Did you hear us complaining about our van being too dark?
Yeah, well, the Legend panels, they come in a gray or a white, so we just went with the white.
Yeah.
And I know it's very white in here. It's this kind of, I don't know if it's a bit stark, like a bit
No,
hard on the
no,
eyes,
it looks great.
But
Yeah,
we tried
brighter the
to
better.
add some color just to you know, make it a little nicer that
Nice.
way. Yeah. So we did all the paneling, the trim work. Pete, what was the plywood we used on that? What was it called?
Well, that's
again?
just
Luan.
Luan. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Luan.
it's
Very
very
thin.
thin. It's about 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no weight to be concerned about. For the fridge cabinet, I'm going to put the microwave on top and have storage underneath. Alix said she didn't like how it stuck into the room. So I said, okay, well, we'll put the microwave on the bottom in the storage, and that'll bring the cabinet right down. So,
okay.
And I think it was a good idea on her part.
We wanted the
keep it lower
sight line to be right through from front to
and
back.
keep it
didn't
open.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And small things like that little shelf on the top, we use that a lot.
Here, yeah.
And this is good. I mean, this
Sometimes
is
it's
smart to have a little lip.
work out and-
Yes.
Yeah, so things don't just fall
It's
off of it.
convenient.
Yeah.
Well, you can put your laptop up here when you're, you know, driving if you want, and hook it up to
There's a
the
USB
USB up here. Yeah, so you can hook it in there, and it's not going to slide anywhere because it does have the edge on it here.
So this is our just indoor-outdoor thermometer. I hid the outdoor sensor in a cubby hole in the trailer hitch and sealed it in with a piece of tape.
Perfect.
And most of the time the sensor connects.
Okay,
So it's been nice.
great.
A USB switch there. So you've got the 12 volt and USB, and the little voltage monitor built in. It's a Nightlight brand. They seem to make decent products.
Oh, good.
And that's our remote switch for the inverter, which is Renogy. The battery monitor is Renogy. And we can turn the light on so you can see. We went with all Renogy. Most people mix and match, but there was one guy who had a problem with his batteries and they weren't compatible with his inverter, so he had to buy another inverter.
Oh no.
Yeah. So that cost him several $100s. So I learned from his mistake. So.
Good to learn from other people's mistakes, not your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and you've got a Max Air fan.
Yeah, Venture RV in Chilliwack, they had one left when the pandemic hit, and they held that for us. So that's the deluxe model. It's reversible, which is what we wanted. The front one we had to buy off of Amazon because everyone else is sold out, and that's not reversible. But that's okay. We can exhaust the air in the front, bring a bit of cool air in the back. They're really nice. When they're on low speed, you can't hear a thing.
Okay.
They're really quiet. The 12-volt fridge, it's NovaCool. It's made in Canada. NovaCool is based in Coquitlam. So that's one of the...
I didn't know that.
That's the only locally manufactured item. It's been really good. It's quiet. The little freezer shelf freezes. And it runs on maybe 30 watts when it's running. Yeah, so it's very efficient. We're really happy with it. And it's 3.1 cubic feet. The door is reversible, which we reversed.
That's handy.
So the Kleenex is wedged in here so the eggs don't rattle on the retaining bar when you're driving. We can store a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that's a first for me. I've never, that's great. I've never even thought of that.
Because when we're driving down the road, what's that rattling?
Don't ever ride with me.
It was the eggs.
Okay, with the Galley, we just along the edge here, just to point out, we bought like tape lights, they're called.
Oh, nice.
And they're very easily applied, and they run off of a little battery, which is stored down in here. So you just replace batteries when you need it to keep working. And here we have a little drawer that opens up. This just opens up only so far, but with vans, as everyone knows, small areas, you need as much space as you can. So that's why that one is in there, and it's just quite small. But these guys are surprisingly quite big inside. I've noticed that we can put a lot of things in them. This is just cutlery in here, paper towel, and a few things like that. But you can fit a lot of things in the van, or in the drawers. And this one here, bigger again, nice big drawers. And then in the very bottom, we actually do have an induction cooktop.
Right.
Just stored down there, which we take out and put on top of the countertop. That's if it's raining out. We try not to cook inside too much, but if it's raining, we do take that out and stick it on top of the counter. These are like a kind of like a boat industry. They have these slam latches. So which actually work quite well because as you slam it, you know when you can push on them before you drive away and make sure your cupboards don't open on you as you're driving along.
And it's actually flush, so it doesn't get in the way and you don't hit yourself on it.
Exactly. We wanted something where, you don't ever hit your side on anything. So we wanted everything very flush and smooth, and that's why that's a little leather pool there, so you're not going to hurt yourself on it. Yeah, and then we have, of course, bananas there, and our Berkey. I don't know if Pete talked about the Berkey at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so this is our Berkey, which holds, I can't remember how much water, gallon?
1.5.
1.5 gallons of water. So we just, this gets strapped in when we're driving. The water is in the bottom here, the filters are in the top. So you just pour water in the top, and then it filters slowly into the bottom. There's a strap here, and this gets strapped in when we're driving, of course. And then when we're camping, we would actually pull this out towards the edge of the countertop, and then you can fill your cups. Or over to the edge of the sink, you can fill your cups, whatever you need there. Fresh water filters very well, doesn't it, Pete? Yeah. It's a really good filter.
It's got a good reputation, that's why we went with it.
Yeah.
Plus it's a gravity system. A lot of the other systems require a pressurized water system, and we don't have that.
Yeah, and then we just bought a little shelf from IKEA and put it up here just to hold the soaps and things like that, and I cut out little bits of foam our items came in from Amazon or wherever we were ordering it, and we cut it out just to fit, to keep everything again
very clever.
really snug so it's not moving. And of course I had to have a plant, so there's it's just an artificial plant just on the side there, just for a bit of decor.
Yeah,
and this is just olive oil, in case anyone's wondering. It's a little olive oil container. We didn't have anywhere else to put it, but they have these little pouches at IKEA. It works quite well, actually. There's no noise when you're driving, no rattling or anything like that. It's very convenient. These pouches we bought from Amazon, we really like them because they're very secure. You can screw this part in here, and these just hook in. There's a loop on there. And we needed something to store our shoes that we might put on when we come in the van. If we're going to be sitting in here for a while, we'll take our shoes off that we walked around with outside, and then we'll just use our inside shoes in here. Yeah,
Wow.
they
So
work
well
quite
thought through.
Yeah, and you can use it for whatever you want. I mean, we use it for our shoes, but other people might just use it for paperwork or whatever they want to put in there. Yeah.
Bottles of wine.
Yes. Very important stuff.
Well, thank you guys. This has been great, and you have a beautiful build out.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely
Yeah,
beautiful for someone who's done
so
it for
impressive.
the first time. Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
First time, not doing it for a living. I can't believe.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing.
Great job. Yeah, and so bright and comfortable and homey.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice, thank you.
Couple kind of concluding questions maybe for us. This is one Mickey had mentioned earlier. So you've had the van out now a couple of times camping.
Yeah, this is our second trip.
Yep.
Anything you would change?
Everything's working quite well. The
Yeah,
closet
pretty good.
area under the bed needs some work because it's
Yeah.
not
we need
working
to
out,
change
but we're really happy with how everything's worked out, and thanks to all the YouTubers who put their builds on and what I do again or what I wouldn't do again type videos. We've been watching those for several years, so we've learned a lot from everyone else on the construction and the layout and a lot of thinking and how we would like to have it and how we would like to function inside it. And
Yeah, we like that we've kind of made a wider hallway in here because we can get past each other, walk past. That was very important that we could walk past each other in the
Yeah.
hall. So
Yeah.
I mean, now I'm talking about the things we like. I can't really think of anything.
well, we'd even look
change.
at videos and we'd try and figure out how wide their hallway was by how many floor panels you could see. How many
Oh,
vinyl
yeah.
planks?
We
Is
were
that a
like-
6-inch plank? There's only 3 there. Well, that means it's an 18-inch hallway, or they can hardly get their fridge door open. So our hallway is 2.5 feet. It's 30 inches. So we've got lots of room.
That's great.
So when you're in a small van, you really don't want to get in each other's way too much. Otherwise,
No.
I mean, you want
Yeah.
to
You wanna remain
keep the
friends.
cabinets big enough so you can have storage, but you want enough room so you don't feel claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
absolutely.
And
Yeah,
it's-
good balance between that.
To answer your question, I can't think of anything we'd change. Really?
Not really.
No.
Not any.
No,
The plumbing needs a bit of a. It
Yeah.
could be better, but it works.
yeah.
It functions.
Yeah.
Keeping things simple,
Simple.
keeping things light,
Absolutely.
drawing
Yes.
or cutting as few holes as possible in the van. Those
Yep.
are all sort of principles that you guys have followed.
Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't want to expose too many metal edges, and then you have to paint them all. Wanted to keep it light, so it's reasonably fun to drive still. And we didn't modify any of the vehicle's original construction, so we don't interfere with the warranty.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, of course. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
No,
good point. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of sort of that, keeping it simple to meet your needs. You add what you need to, I guess, meet your objective, but you don't add a lot of others. And so that's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's videos of people putting in-floor heating, and I think, well, all that liquid and the connections, and you're going to trust that in the
Scares
van
us.
floor, which shakes all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good points.
It just seems too risky. It's just asking for a problem,
Yeah.
and you don't want that when you're camping
No,
out
you
on your
don't, no.
vacation.
No.
No, we're camping, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
So
Final question for me. Would you do it again?
Yes,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound very positive, does it? But yes, I might do a completely different way around the next time, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You've had a good experience, but you might
Yeah.
change it up a bit.
Oh yeah. One way would be to get what they call a window van or a passenger van. It'd be hard to find, I think, in the Promaster because I've hardly seen any. But they do make one. because it would have the flooring, the walls, the ceiling all finished already, and just do a really simple build, pull the seats, mount a bed, and mount a cabinet for a fridge. And we saw someone who did that in a Chrysler van, regular height, like a passenger van, minivan, and it was really nice. They had the extension cord running through their window, and it was plugged into an oil-filled heater. It was really toasty inside. And they had a TV screen on the back of the driver's seat, and they had their bed tilted up, and she was as comfortable as we were, and it was a real simple build. And Chrysler has the Stone Go seats, so she pulled those, put the plywood floor down, and under the plywood she had all the room where the seats normally fold down into for storage.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
The only disadvantage with her van is you couldn't stand up.
Yeah, so low roof. Yeah.
It's good for one person, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she was
For
very
sure.
comfortable.
Yeah, she loved it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
again.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You wanted
thanks
to
for
go
filming
a
us
nice
and
bike
coming.
ride.
Yeah, we're gonna go try out the new trail in Tofino here and go along the.
Perfect.
I don't know what they call the trail, but we're going on the trail with our e-bikes and
Wonderful.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming around and seeing our van too. And we're
Maybe
very
later
happy to
tonight
show you.
we'll
we'll
have
get
some
together.
wine and beer.
Yeah, sounds great. Perfect, especially after a bike ride.
Great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for watching our video. Hope you enjoyed it, and we really had fun with Alix and Pete here.
Yeah,
And,
it's been a real learning experience. It's been great.
and if you enjoyed our videos, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.